Eastern Summer Sumatra, grade 12 STEM student. Quantitative research problem. There are 7 types of quantitative research problem. Quantitative research problems involve the investigation of measurable phenomena. They seek to uncover patterns, relationship, or difference among variables using numerical data and statistical methods. Quantitative research aims to provide objective and quantifiable answers to research questions. For instance, a quantitative research problem could be studying the impact of online learning on students' academic programs by analyzing test scores. Quantitative research problem. Quantitative research problems can arise from diverse sources including literature gaps, identifying areas where existing research lacks of comprehensive data or understanding. Practical issues, addressing real-world challenges that require data-driven solution. Theoretical frameworks, testing hypotheses derived from established theories. Social and policies, concerns investigating issues of societal importance that can be quantified, for instance, exploring the relationship between economic indicators and unemployment rates.
Hey everyone, this is the continuation of Sumatra's lesson about the quantitative research problem, and now I'm going to discuss to you the research question versus quantitative research problem. Research question and quantitative research problem are related but serve distinct purposes. The research problem establishes the overarching issue, while research questions provide specific inquiries that guide the study. Research questions help break down the problem into manageable components and serve as the basis for data collection and analysis. Example of research problem. What percentage of Manila private universities consider the use of grammar textbooks as the most effective way to help college students and attain communicate competence? The main objective of this study is to find out the percentage of Manila private universities considering the use of grammar textbooks as the most effective way to help college students attain communicative competence. Research questions about the research problem. First question, what is an English grammar textbook? Second, what is communicative competence? Third, what components of grammar textbook work for communicative competitive development? Fourth, how many Manila private universities require the use of grammar textbooks? Fifth, how many Manila private universities uses grammar textbooks as preference only? Sixth, to what extent do Manila private universities find grammar textbooks effective in helping college students attain communicative competence? Likewise, the aims of finding answers to the following specific objectives. First objectives, to define a grammar textbook. Second, to explain the meaning of communicative competence. Third, to identify the components of the grammar textbook that work for communicative competence development. Fourth objectives, to determine the number of Manila private universities requiring the use of grammar textbooks. Fifth, to determine the number of Manila private universities using grammar textbooks as reference only. Sixth, to determine the extent of Manila private universities considering grammar textbooks as the means by which they can help the college students attain communicative competence. Second topic is guidelines in formulating a quantitative research problem and research questions. To formulate an effective quantitative research problem and research questions, consider the following guidelines. First guideline, clarity and specificity. Ensure the problem and questions are clearly defined and specific. Second, guidelines. Researchability. Confirm that they can that the researchability. Second is researchability. Confirm that they can be addressed through empirical research and data collection. Third, guidelines. Alignment with research purposes. Ensure that the problem and questions align with the study objectives and goals. Fourth guideline, using SMART criteria for research questions. Make sure that the research questions are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Third topic for the quantitative research problem. Research problems in experimental research. Experimental research typically focuses on establishing causal relationships. Researchers manipulate one or more independent variables and observe their effects on dependent variables, while controlling extraneous factors. For instance, a research problem in experimental research and involve testing the impact of different marketing strategies on customers' purchase behavior in a controlled retail setting. Quantitative research may either be non-experimental or experimental, and that latter is of two types. First type, true experimental, and second type is quasi-experimental research. In most aspects of experimental research, both of these two types have similarities, like both include selection of subjects, pre- and post-test, and use of treatment or control group. Among these three key aspects of experimental research, randomized selection is its leading characteristics, so much so that the absence of random selection of participants denies its identify as a true experimental and converts it into a quasi-experimental or semi-experimental research, in which the selection process takes place not by chance by experimental purposes or decisions. Regardless of several contrasting characteristics of true and quasi-experimental research, both tackle research problems that requires you to deal these four basic elements. First basic element is subjects or objects, people, places, things, events, and etc. Second basic element, the subject's condition before the actual experiment. Third basic element, the treatment, intervention, or condition applied on the subject. Fourth is the subject's condition after the treatment. That's all.
Good day everyone, I'm Dinjek Rexun P. Marimon, a grade 12 STEAM student. I'm here to continue the discussion of Mr. Allen Paul Lanzaderas. I will discuss the types of quantitative research. Types of quantitative research questions. Quantitative research questions can be categorized into three main types. First, descriptive questions aim to describe a phenomenon or variable. Example, what is average monthly income of households in a specific region? Second, relational questions explore relationships between variables. Example, is there a significant correlation between exercise frequency and weight loss? Third, comparative question examine differences between groups or conditions. Example, is there a significant difference in a product satisfaction rating between two competing brands? Approaches to quantitative research questions. A deductive approach is concerned with developing a hypothesis or hypothesis based on existing theory and then designing a research strategy to test the hypothesis. It has been stated that deductive means reasoning from the particular to the general. Example, all dogs have four legs. John's pet is a dog. Therefore, John's pet has four legs. Inductive research is a method in which the researcher collects analysis data to develop theories, concepts, or hypotheses based on patterns and observation seen in the data. It uses a bottom-up method in which the researcher starts with specific observation and then moves on to more general theories or ideas. Inductive research is often used in exploratory studies or when not much research has been done on a topic before. For example, if you notice that every time you eat spicy food, you get a stomach ache, you might use inductive reasoning to conclude that spicy food causes stomach ache. That's all. Thank you.